So the moon mushrooms. It's really fucking great. Mushroom, right? I got these Google Clementine lunar fucking images from the moon, and God, they look horrible. It's like, man, they're all fucking gray, man. And I think so. The first thing they do is they give you this graph thingy, fuck thing, one that you just expand it out so that you can see. And then down here, oh fuck it. I got this one here, looks like a piece of Scotch tape, and it's on the moon, and it looks like it's really, really like fucking huge. This big piece of fucking Scotch tape on there. So I gave all this to my 13-year-old son to put it in the fucking. So I gotta put it in the Photoshop crap and add color to it, and so he got the pictures of this farm in Ohio, and so now he's coloring everything, all the pictures of the moon. He's just gone fucking nuts, he's got color and everything, but it looks kind of cool. So I decided I'm gonna use this in my poster for my new movie. The Shroom is fucked since the new movie. And then we're gonna show the movie and enjoy it. It's gonna be really great. I think it's gonna be fucking great. So here it is, folks. If you don't like it, then go fuck yourself.
Neil and Buzz, the President of the United States is in his office now and would like to say a few words to you. Over.
That would be an honor.
Go ahead, Mr. President. This is Houston out.
Hello, Neil and Buzz. It isn't easy to come before a nationwide audience and bare your life, as I've done, in spite of the smears, the misunderstanding, the necessity for a man to come up here and bare his soul as I have. Why is it necessary for me to continue this fight? And I want to tell you why. Because you see, I love my country. And I think my country is in danger. You say, why do I think it's in danger? And I say, look at the record. 600 million people lost to the communists. And I say to all of you that a policy that results in a loss of 600 million people to the communists and a war which cost us 117,000 American casualties isn't good enough for America. And I say that those in the State Department that made the mistakes which caused that war and which resulted in those losses should be kicked out of the State Department just as fast as we get them out of them.
Thank you, Mr. President.
One other thing I probably should tell you, because if I don't, they'll probably be saying this about me too. A man down in Texas heard Pat on the radio mention the fact that our two youngsters would like to have a dog. And believe it or not, the day before we left on this campaign trip, we got a message from the Union Station in Baltimore saying they had a package for us. We went down to get it. You know what it was? It was a little Cocker Spaniel dog in a crate that he'd sent all the way from Texas. Black and white, spotted. And our little girl, Tricia, the 6-year-old, named it Check. And you know, the kids, like all kids, love the dog. And I just want to say this right now, that regardless of what they say about it, we're going to keep it.
Thank you, Mr. President. Honor for us to be able to participate here today. Look forward to that very much, sir.
The astronauts are told to keep this quiet. They're not allowed to talk about it.
There are far too many gigantic and massive structures as can be described. You have to see them for yourself in order to grasp the size of these complex, and in most cases, alien-like architecture, as you have seen in many films. You will even see some strange vine-like webbing, as depicted in Steven Spielberg's War of the Worlds. Glass domes, UFOs, massive buildings and scaffolding spread throughout the lunar terrain in many sizes, shapes, and forms. It is evident the missions to the moon were more involved than gathering rocks and dirt samples. There is no doubt we went to the moon. It is what was waiting for us when we got there that this film is about.
Prepare yourself for an incredible expedition as we now take you back to the moon on a voyage filled with mystery and secrecy.
I'm not sure why there are thousands of tortoises on the moon. In Hawaii we have tortoise because the pictures are there and there's hundreds of them. So anybody could do what I did. Use Photoshop on the pictures and enlarge them and see what there is. So I went ahead and looked it up, and I was really surprised at all these penises that were on the moon. I mean, there they are just standing straight up right out of the lunar surface, and I just couldn't tear myself away. They were just amazing. Amazing. Cats are bouncing all over the place, just like cats. Giant cats. And they have giant cat boxes on the moon. And they jump like a mile high from one cat box to the other. And then in wintertime, they migrate to areas where they can go inside the hollow moon, where they stay there for 3 months and preen themselves and lick themselves all over. I don't think there's any possibility that NASA not aware of all the turtles on the moon. It's, all about the visual. We can visualize. The mind has the evidence. It's all about the mind anyway.
We put nuclear weapons out in space as a line of defense, and we was ready to blow them up if they started in.
Hollow moon researchers say that this is proof that the interior of the moon was hollowed out by artificial means.
NASA has been there, and they don't want you to know about it. A cover story that's simply not the case. And you kind of sit there and wonder why that is. The whole purpose to the cover-up is I really don't think people realize how deep the lie goes, how big it is, how unbelievable the cover-up is. This truly is the greatest story ever denied. It is the most amazing secret never told. It is the most monumental cover-up in human history. I mean, these are things that if they talk about, it's off to Guantanamo Bay. This is the greatest secret in not only the United States military and the United States government, but around the world. How big is the lie? And the truth is, it's bigger than most people can imagine. One of the things you've got to keep in mind as well when you're looking at NASA imagery is that although the sky may appear black in those frames, in many instances, when you enhance that image, you discover that there's actually an incredible amount of image detail that's just buried in the darkness of that image. But when you amplify that scene and you begin to see what's hidden there in the sky, you can begin to make out shapes. There's a few images that show structuring. And this is all done in an effort to both hide the truth, but as well to leave a bit of the truth there for you.
Is there hard bodies there? And is there even a place where two people can get together on a Saturday night?
Were the Egyptian pharaohs and clergymen of their time aware of subterranean places that had celestial functions?
Is such a thing even possible? Yes, it is.
Castleback camels were the ones that were used by NASA for moving crap for running around the moon. Those assholes came in to buy fish, and neither one of them people had a good visa. I think they are still there. They were there in the 70s when the mushrooms were all at their best. my bartender Hoskins wanted to drive me over there, and there were horses all over the place.
It seems like, at least in some areas of the moon, that the cats may still be there.
And so I lied to my best friends.
So I certainly believe that the cats are still there, including some of my favorites like Jinxie and Miss Margaret and Tabby Girl, who's also one of my favorite. I think she's still there too, and they're preening each other.
So out of all the girls, the black girl was fat.
SUPERSOYLENT, a flesh-eating army.